Pregame.com.
TCU at UNLV Wednesday night action here in Las Vegas at the Thomas and Mack Center. I'm Marco D'Angelo. I'm joined with Brian Leonard. Brian, I just want to tell the viewers, in case we got some first-time viewers, for basketball, it's a little different for us doing the videos because we've got to tape in advance. We're taping on Tuesday for Wednesday, so obviously there's no line out. We're giving our projected line. You'll give yours, I'll give mine, and then when we actually give a selection, we're going to say by a certain number of points, so they can confirm on game day that it is still a play when the actual line comes out, because if, especially not so much in the college, but in the NBA, they're playing back-to-back nights. You could have an injury, a big, line adjustment from what we're figuring it, or if one team wins in a blowout, it's going to skew the lines. So for Wednesday night's game, what line do you project on this game?
Yeah, I project UNLV to be a 15-point favorite in this game.
We're almost dead on. I put my number at 15.5, so we're close. We'll see where that comes out. You have a pick in this one. I'm going to kind of counterpunch you here because I have a couple different thoughts, so I'll let you take the lead.
All right. Well, I think I like UNLV to win this game by 18 points. One of my favorite handicapping angles is to take a team off of a tough loss when they're playing a team that they've dominated in the past. The last 6 times UNLV's hosted TCU, they beat them at home by 34, 16, 14, 19, 15, and 11. And TCU is a team that just lost a double overtime game to Colorado State in a game where they shot 12 three-pointers. That's the most three-pointers they've hit all season long. And if we know UNLV, that's the one weakness they've actually had, is defending the three-pointers. TCU's not that great shooting the threes, but they did have a hot hand in that last game. So I think it's a little bit skewed. Anytime you can shoot really well from 3 points, it's going to skew the final score. What I'm concerned about TCU is they've let 8 opponents shoot 50% or better this season, which tells me that they're not a very good defensive team, and they like to run. And it's a team that should fit right into UNLV's offensive system. UNLV wants to run, and if you watch the UNLV-San Diego State game, UNLV's not a very good shooting team. They need to be able to get out and run in order to have success. I think the style of play here is conducive for UNLV to really play their type of game. And I think this is going to be one of those games where that just, as the game goes on, they just continue to make it wider.
Well, I agree with the 2 points that you make that'll support your side. The TCU coming off the double overtime game, that is a negative moving into this game. For me as a handicap, I will agree with you. Playing into UNLV's strength, absolutely. You're not going to come into the MAC and run with UNLV. That's suicide, in my opinion. I agree with you there. The one thing that I will disagree with you on, and this is something, and everybody has their own styles, and one of the things that I've always done, people like to look at teams in a bounce back situation, and it's a good angle, it's a good motivator. But I slice and dice it a little bit, and when it's a big game loss, and when I say a big game, I'm not talking big game that you lost by 30 points. I'm talking about when it's your arch rival, or it was a big nationally televised game, something like that. UNLV and San Diego State in the last couple years, because San Diego State's had some good ball clubs recently, this has become a big rivalry for UNLV. And I actually got to go last year to the San Diego State UNLV game here at the MAC, and UNLV has done everything but just get over that final hump against this team. They've actually lost to them now 4 times in less than a 12-month period dating back to last season, and they've all been heartbreakers. I mean, they've been close. UNLV's been right there, and you hit the nail on the head. It's the contrast in styles, and San Diego State has been able to dictate which style of play has been in those games, and that's what's frustrated UNLV. And I think going into San Diego State on Saturday and playing their guts out and coming up just short again is going to have a negative effect on them this first game back. It's almost like, the hangover, after a night of drinking, you're just not ready to get up and go to work the next morning. I'm looking for that from UNLV, and UNLV's got a big game coming up on the weekend, Saturday night, their next game. Like you said, they've owned TCU. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's very easy for them if they're still kind of down from that other game and know that they play a team that they blow out all the time, that they might just show up and go through the motions. They've got New Mexico up at home on Saturday, and that's a big game. New Mexico's in the top of the conference. I mean, it's early in conference play yet, but that's my concern with UNLV here.
I definitely understand that. If UNLV would come off of a win, I would be completely in agreement with you. That would be a sandwich situation. I'm actually going to that New Mexico game on Saturday. I picked New Mexico to win this conference before the season started. Right now I'm looking like a fool because UNLV looks to be the best team, and San Diego State's been pretty impressive considering they've such a young
they
team.
lost everybody.
Yeah, but New Mexico is a very good team, and they're much better at home than they are on the road. But with UNLV coming off of that game and the way they lost it, they fought hard all game long, and it's going to be great when they play again because UNLV actually, as bad as their stats were, they played just as well as San Diego State did. So I think we may get a little bit of line value when they come here to play later in the season. When UNLV, as you pointed out, can dictate the pace a little bit better when they're playing at home. But since they did lose that game, and this has been a team who's been able to bounce back from their losses pretty well, I think as long as we're not laying an outrageous number, I think UNLV wins this game by 18 points.
All right, well, your play is UNLV. I'm on the fence, but I give some reservations on it. I think that what ideally I would like to see here, me as a handicapper, I like to see UNLV win and just get by. Then it sets up a great line value play on Saturday in that New Mexico game.
Point.
But we'll see what happens. Brian says to take UNLV. He's got them by 18. That's our first video. We're going to come back. We're going to take a look at another Wednesday game. We're going to go to the NBA for the next one, and then we'll have a Thursday video for you too in basketball. He's Brian Leonard. I'm Marco D'Angelo. Carry on the conversation at pregamevideos.com. You can go in there. We'll post our show notes, have some answer questions you guys have, and again, doing these videos in advance for the basketball. This is the time to ask the questions because if you see the line come out different, now me and Brian were pretty much on the same number here, but if there's a big difference come tomorrow when the line opens up, you want to ask us how we feel about it, we'll stop by and tell you how we feel. Thanks for watching.